it's Mike McFarland. He's a Kansas City Royals baseball player, and the other one's last name was Seitz. And so they combined, and then they made MacNSeitz.
So that's the name of the league or whatever?
No, that's the name of the baseball academy.
Oh, okay. And that's the team that
Yep. What's going on here?
and prizes, that's the word I was thinking.
Continue. All right.
I think it's connected.
Close.
Well, this is connecting on it, so I don't know, actually. Start session. There it goes. How far can I move this way without being in trouble? Not far. All right, I'm going to stay here.
What? Oh, I see. It's because our shade is diminishing, isn't it?
No, we got a kid over here who's wanting to sit on this bench, and then so we were gonna move over a little bit.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
I can hang out like this. Does this work for you?
Can you help and get me a lineup of any kind?
I just handed it to you, man.
You did? This is ours? Okay, yeah.
You're good, kiddo. Everybody wins, except for, someone else. That's what's right. Are you cheering for the MacNSeitz? No, I think that's 643. That's Mac. Yep, MacNSeitz 643. Right up there. All right, do you have a big brother on the team? Which one? What's his name? Great Logan. Where's he getting right on? He's a beast. Is he nice to you at home? Is he? If not, we're gonna have to have a chat with him because you're adorable. How many years older is he than you?
Which one is this? Is Logan's?
This is Logan Peterson's younger brother. You know what's your name? Eli. He
Eli.
says that Logan is sometimes nice to him, but that on Sunday mornings he's grumpy because he's got to get up and go to church, and he's sometimes not nice then. So, but Sunday is right.
It's good big brother stuff.
But Logan is the kid that's right.
All right, folks, we are all set to go here. Playing in Shawnee, Kansas today at the Mid-America Sports Complex. This is in the Perfect Game Super 24 Invitational. Appreciate you guys joining us here on YouTube and Twitter. And if you are joining us, please leave a comment and like the video if you can. We really appreciate that. I'd like to interact with you guys during the game when we can. And going through a few technical things here, trying to pop up a little picture-in-picture and that kind of thing. So looks like we are going to be facing the 643 KC Gray. If you remember, we faced these guys back in the fall in a couple of pretty close matchups. Actually, the first one was a particularly close matchup. Second one kind of got away from us. But 0-2 against these guys, I think, so far. And so eager to get things going as Reed Eckert showing bunt early, pops that one up and gets away with a bunt on that pop-up. The catcher could not see exactly where that ball went. And as you might imagine, that sun just kind of beating down and facing him right in the face. So Reed staying strong on that bunt, turning, squaring around. Wind has kind of started to pick up and gust a little bit here and there, and kind of still at the moment, but certainly sun is high in the sky, and you can kind of see the vapor trails on the turf. So I imagine it's got to be a good 5-10 degrees warmer out there on the turf than it is out here where we're all watching from. Reed pops this one up over to short, and that is going to be out number one. That's going to bring up number 3, Ryder Vota, to the plate. Ryder pounding one out there to center field for a ground rule double RBI. This one in play over to shortstop, and that is going to be 2 quick outs for 643 KC Gray. Kind of rolled over on the top of that one and had a little bit of a chopper, but hats off to the shortstop, handling that ball very well. That'll bring up number 17, Jacob Larson, to the plate. Jacob Larson coming into this tourney batting .500 with an on-base percentage of just under 800. So he's definitely been seeing the ball well here in early spring. And patient there on that first pitch, well out of the zone. Got a lot of movement on some of these cameras here, so I'm not going to be able to switch back and forth to some of those. Big swing and a miss. That one well inside, coming in 71 miles an hour. So contrast to the game that we played earlier today, played at 10 o'clock against the Johnson County Storm, and unfortunately falling to them in the bottom of the 6th inning on a walk-off on an error that happened out in the field, and losing just by 1 run, but frustrating one to be sure. And that pitch, those pitchers and whatnot, they were typically sitting right around 60. So this is a good full almost 10 miles an hour more, and we'll see how the boys jump on that. And Larson, very game right now, fouling that back on multiple occasions and protecting that plate. This one down now, 2-2 count. Oh, 3-2 count. My apologies. So battling back to that full count. I'll tell you what. He pops this one. It's high in the sky. And the pitcher could not find it. Again, I will tell you that sun was really kind of beaten down. The pitcher was pointing up in the air as if he could not see it, did not have it, and nobody else really kind of came to the rescue there. oftentimes you'll see a shortstop or second baseman charging in. He kept looking at the catcher, but catcher certainly, not the most advantageous in trying to run out to a ball. But Jacob Larson, nonetheless, reaches on air. McClenny taking a first pitch strike, outside corner. So we'll see if MacNSeitz able to get some things done with 2 outs here in the last game. And we'll see if we can't get a little something going here with 2 outs early in this matchup. Another strike, outside corner, almost same spot. Now 1-2 count. And pitcher shakes off the catch, decides to step off the rubber and wants to reset. That ball is a pass ball. Runner advances uncontested. And now 2-2 count to McClenny. So we've got netting around the fields here, and with this wind gust, you're going to see kind of nets kind of coming in and out of the view a little bit. We'll see if we can't sturdy that up. I've also got a number of people kind of using the backstop there as a footrest, so we'll do the best we can. And a nice dig by Paul, keeping it in front of him and protecting that extra base. All right, my apologies. These guys both wearing light blue, and there for a moment, I saw a young man at the catcher for 6'4" and moving very similarly to McClenny, but McClenny drawing a walk on that one. Now 2 runners on, first and second. Nobody has challenged the catcher at this point, but that's going to bring big number 3-5, Logan Peterson, up to the plate. He had a real deep ball, had a chance, I thought, earlier in the day, but unfortunately did not have quite the legs to get out. And he takes a strike right down the pipe on that first pitch. Big swing and a miss. So 1-2 count, and I got to tell you, it is a beautiful day here, end of April. Just really starting to get into spring ball. A couple of these tournaments, we've just been freezing to death. So nice to have a change of pace here in the weather. And Logan Peterson takes a third call strike, and that'll end the half inning. We see a number of first responding fire trucks, fire engines in the back, cruising on by. Yeah. Well, folks, again, thank you for joining us here, and apologize, a little out of sorts trying to get things lined up here at the very beginning of these matchups, and so much. I've got a few technical things kind of going on with these cameras, driving me a little bit crazy. So when your equipment works, hey, technology's fantastic, right? So looks like we're going to have number 27, Tucker Lee, starting out on the bump. He's having a short little meeting there with the catcher, Paul McClenny. Looks like prior to warm-up, but he's out there on the mound right now, kind of talking about things. And Coach Max comes out there and says, "Hey guys, let's get things going." So disappointing game starting out against the Johnson County Storm. We'll see if MacNSeitz is able to turn things around. Typically in the fall of this past year, such a good fielding team, but we're missing a few guys. Arlo Mai, typically out at third base, has been out with a back injury, missing almost all of our tournaments here so far, and hoping that he'll be able to join us back. I did see him out here supporting the team in the dugout, and maybe we'll be able to get a chance to get him over here and join us like we did with Odie Saxon, who's also missing from the lineup. And so he's playing some high school ball right now. So one of the older kids, or actually one of the younger high schoolers, still playing 14U. And so we'll be glad to get his glove and his bat back, but that won't be till towards the end of May. And so, and it looks like Harrison and Perkins also notably missing from the lineup. Harrison is out in Oklahoma, so safe travels there. Hope you make it back safely. And so Tucker Lee, my son, when you're announcing these games and stuff like that, it's obviously this is why I'm doing it, right? So I can be out here watching these games and having a lot of fun, showing my passion for the game and love for the game. But I can tell right now Tucker's body language maybe not where it needs to be. So typically kind of sitting in those low 70s, and that's where the pocket radar's been coming in at, high 60s, low 70s. Tends to throw harder as the game wears on, and so we'll see if that is the case. But fielding errors were the name of the game in our first game today, so let's see if our guys, who really are good fielders and have good arms, let's see if they can get behind Tucker here and keep this score 0-0. Ball inside, well off the plate. Hard hit ball. Oh, that gets right by the third baseman. So it was a big hard hit. His chopper goes all the way back to the fence. He's easily going to be up for 3. And a leadoff triple for 6-4-3. So good hard hit. Jacob Larson right on top of it. Had his glove in place, but I think that when you get a chopper on this turf, you'll see that how much it bounces is really a lot more than you would expect, and it's certainly a lot more than on dirt fields. But that one bouncing over the glove of Larson, and we'll see how Lee responds here. That one missing just high. So in our past matchups with 6-4-3, a good hitting team, aggressive at the plate. And you can tell their number 2 batter up right now was on the take until he got a strike. Had absolutely no intention of swinging, I think, right there. So, there are lots of different schools of thought on that. And I'll tell you, getting deeper into the count, you tend to get better balls to hit. And so when you're too aggressive early on in the count, sometimes you end up putting the bat on a ball that you can hit, but maybe it's not the pitch you were actually looking for. So showing a little patience there. Now 1-1 count, and young man over on third needing to tie his shoes. So we pause play here momentarily, but all set to go, and Lee continues to work from the stretch. Looping curveball doesn't break, and now 2-1 count. Ball digs this one, and now 3-1. So we've got Jacob Larson over at third, Ryder Votaw short. Kelly at second, and Peterson at first. And a hit by pitch. So a runner will advance. That thing hit him right in the doggone leg. And so he's gonna take a little time to kind of make his way down. Looks like he's going to be okay. I did not get a lineup from the 6-4-3 KC Gray, so unfortunately I cannot call out the guys' names. But nobody down, runners on the corners. And a ball well outside. Runner goes. Throw goes down. Oh, man, and that was a close one, folks. But he is up safe at second, and that'll put 2 runners in scoring positions for this tall, cool drink of water, number 35 on the KC4 black team. Or gray team, rather. I apologize. Fouls that one back. See a little shimmy in the camera. So needing Tucker to kind of get into a rhythm here. We need him pitching, throwing, getting back on the bump. There he goes, and he challenges him right away. Goes down on the velocity just a bit. Pitches that one right down the pipe. And now 2-2 count. Would have to imagine 3-5 would like to see that one back again. Little chopper right back to the pitch. Down to first. So they get the out at first, but an errant throw coming in from Peterson to home. And a run will score. But we do get an out. Runner does advance as well, and so now that runner started out on first, does make his way over to third. And nice looking pitch right there. As Lee looks to be settling in. I'll tell you, looking at some of the pitching metrics and whatnot, I go to some of these pitching lessons. I don't often always stay in because this is going to be his passion. I need him to, focus on his own craft on his own. And so I give him that space. But every now and then he'll invite me in to take a look at a bullpen. And I'll tell you, one of the big things they talk about is just running down that hill. It's moving with some speed. And a strikeout. And that'll be good for number 2. Or 2 outs, rather. So a drop third strike. That ball caroms away from McCliney, but he's able to scoop that up. And fortunately, the runner at third does not advance. So score now still 1-0. Got 2 down. And a little pop fly. This one is over to second base. And Kelly brings that one in for out number 3. So I'll tell you what, unfortunate for MacNSeitz, but 6-4-3 is able to get 1 on the board. They leave 2 stranded, or just 1 stranded rather. And I've got a camera that I need to fix over here, so I am going to let you guys enjoy just a little bit of the music we had running earlier here. folks, and that will bring up number 27, Tucker Lee. So he rips one down the right side, and it does go foul. So a nice knock there, but missing just foul. So swinging away right out of the gate. He'll step back into the box on an 0-1 count. And now, pitch has some glasses on. He's asking for the coaching staff to take that stuff away. So 6-4-3 does change pitchers notably, so you'll see that is definitely part of the strategy, trying to keep all the arms fresh, getting everybody a little bit of work, and then hopefully trying to make a deeper play into pool play. As Tucker takes a pitch for strike 2. So needing to protect the plate here, leading off. And that ball well outside. So again, a contrast in velocity, and this young man up on the hill. Last pitch coming in 56 miles an hour. Tucker rips this one, and oh man, I tell you what, good knock, but right to the right fielder. He almost didn't have to move his feet. I'll tell you what. So one of those ones is always disappointing as a hitter because you have a nice solid contact, and then as you get that contact, ends up being just a typical fly ball for a fielder. Didn't even have to really move. But looks like my crew is headed off. My younger son, Camden, playing in 2 basketball games here this afternoon. Going to wish him good luck. So good luck, Camden.
Bye, honey. Have a great day.
A big smooch from my good-looking wife.
See you later, Dad.
All right, good luck, big man. All right, hey, nice to see you again, Megan. And looks like Reed Eckert, or no, is that Brooks Carr? Made his way on base. So again, of course, I'm distracted. My apologies, folks, if you're watching online. Ton of family running out of here. So not the best setup on my camera here, but a little bit crooked, but it'll have to do for now. As Kelly takes pitch inside for a ball. Ball in play. This one is going to roll just foul down that third base line. So that runner on first would represent the tying run. We'll see if MacNSeitz can do anything to kind of get him around. That's a breaking ball. Didn't ever really kind of break, kind of hung up there a little bit. Always a dangerous pitch. And Kelly rips this one a little bit harder, but it is foul too. That one right down the line and going foul just before third base. So Grant Kelly seeing the ball well here. Runner goes, and he's going to be up safe. And now full count to Grant Kelly. So not great speed out there on second, but good base running technique. And we'll see if maybe, and he rings him up right there. Grant Kelly going down looking. That'll be 2 strikes. And now the hot hitting Austin Strength up. Coaching staff made a lineup adjustment and had Strength up there a little bit higher, and I think they've moved him down kind of from a strategic standpoint, hoping to get a little bit more movement on the base paths. So wisely taking a ball well inside. So good lead at second, nothing excessive. And line drive right up the middle. But that is straight to the center fielder, who was rather shallow. And so a nice piece of hitting there will advance the runner over to third, and that'll put runners on the corners. 2 down, and MacNSeitz not wanting to leave any runners on base. And down in the matchup right now, 1-0. Lays down a little bunt, and I don't know why we would do that. So, out number 3. Inexplicable, really. I can't understand why we would bunt in that situation. Reed's not an excessive speedster by any means, and you got runners on the corners, and we're down 1. So I don't know if Reed elected to do that on his own or if the coaching staff called for it. If I'm a betting man, I would guess that Reed just decided to do that on his own. But with 2 outs, definitely not exactly what you would expect from a baseball standpoint. Really frustrating to me, and I thought we were in good position to possibly get a good RBI and tie this game up. But let's see how our boys can do here fielding-wise. Behind Tucker Lee. So leadoff batter going for a triple. And it's one of those ones that, maybe you could argue reaching on air, but I don't know. I would call that a good clean hit. It was a hard chopper, a screamer down that left side, bouncing over Larson's glove. He was in position, but didn't make any contact with that chopper. And unfortunately, left fielder not getting out to that ball quickly, and runner showing good speed made his way over to third. And after a number of other things going on in the inning, they were able to get one on the board. Imagine Lee will probably pitch 2 innings here, maybe 3. I would think that based off the pitch count off that first inning, I would only expect to see him pitch the remainder of this inning. So obviously wanting to save some of those pitchers for bracket play. In particular, in my mind, looking at Lee and Larson and Peterson kind of being the big 3 and whatnot. But, Austin getting on the hill, and Brooks Carr doing a good job as well in the last game. We just did not get the bats going that we needed at the right time. So a big number 61 steps into the box for 6-4-3. And bottom of the second is underway. Lee buzzes the tower, wants to keep him honest, I guess. I'm not sure. But right over his head. That might make you think twice about those inside pitches, right? Little chopper, right back over to pitch again. And 1 out here to start. So not too bad. 2 pitches in and out. And now coming up, batter number 2. Got to make at least a couple more adjustments on these cameras, and then I'll see if I can't get over to that 6-4-3 dugout to get their lineup as Lee comes inside. And 6-4-3 batter, man, you got to give him some credit, man. A lot of mettle. He stayed in the box there and took that one for the team. That definitely hurt. That one coming in, I think, 67, 68 miles an hour. So, yeah, credit where credit's due. A young man did a job for his team, and now he's standing proudly out there on first base. As number 27 takes a deep breath, gets back on the bump, and will work from the stretch. So that one coming in 69 and missing just inside. So I think it might have been a little bit high. Runner goes, and Lee not on the slide step there. A little surprising. Kind of taking a little bit of time to deliver that pitch to home, so not something you would normally see. And a strike right down the pipe. So 2-1 count now. Didn't look like that base runner was a speedster by any means either, and I think they're wanting to test McCliney a little bit. But as we saw in the first game, so much about being able to throw somebody out is about that pitch delivery. And when you got somebody out on first and you're trying to keep them over there, looking at a slide step or a quicker delivery is something that you really need to keep on the top of your mind. Hard hit ball. This one will be down for a single on the right side. Runner rounds, but coach holds him up at third. And so that'll be now runners on the corners once again. So one down. Nice piece of hitting. Went oppo. That ball actually was coming up on the inside of the plate, so I think he was maybe just a little bit behind, but he barreled it up pretty well and went to the right side on a line drive. And a big looping curveball right there. Not one of his more common pitches. He'll throw it from time to time, but he's more of a slider guy. And throws that back to back for 2 balls. And McCliney continuing to throw down to second even with runners on third. All to no avail there. Last pitch coming in across the plate. Imagine that batter was on the take with the steal on. Pitch steps off the rubber. And this ball missing inside. So now 3-1 count with 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 down, bottom of the second. MacNSeitz down 1 run. So nice fastball coming in, but that is not over the plate. And that'll be ball 4. So bases loaded. Paul McCliney deciding he wants to run out there and talk with Tuck. I know that he's talked about their communication from a sign standpoint and then just trying to get on the same page as far as what pitches to call and when and next. Tuck not really liking to shake off the catcher. So a little visit there. Maybe they'll get back on the same page and see what we can do here with this batter. And he overthrows on that one. Well down in the dirt. So relatively quiet out here on the ball fields right now, and busy park today. I think we talked about it earlier, about 10 diamonds out here, and all turf, beautiful facility. Have continued to improve it year over year with new concrete, new turf. And a little bit louder earlier, maybe some closer matchups playing nearby. And Tucker working in and working out, and 3 balls, 3 pitches, 3 balls. Batter steps back and then pops that one up. McCliney looking for it, but that one is out of play. So a nice facility for these boys to play on, and I know one of the things that Tuck does complain about, even with these big, beautiful fields, I would love to see them to use age-appropriate mounds. These pitching mounds are kind of ridiculous for the age bracket. And this one down the right sideline, but is foul. And so Tuck's able to battle back to a full count here. Let's see if he can put them away. And that one glancing off the glove of Paul, but it is an inside pitch, and that's ball 4. That will walk home a run, and the contest now 2-0. So taking one pitch at a time. 6-4-3, I think right now is definitely really seems to be a disciplined team, and I think right now I don't think anybody's swinging until they're getting a strike. So when you've had a walk, you got bases loaded like that, stands to reason. And Tucker throws across the body right there for ball number 2. And 6 pitches and 6 balls, not exactly what you're hoping to see. That one comes straight down. Fouls that one back, now 2-1 count. Batter was well behind on that. And one of the things I urge Tucker to do oftentimes when you're seeing that is go ahead and challenge them. Keep it in the zone and blow it by him. He does just that right here, but that one comes in high, and batter showing some discipline. 3-1 count. Well behind on that one, fouls it off to the right side. So I think there's probably an inclination right here to switch it up because you've thrown a couple of fastballs in a row, but I'll tell you, just continue to keep challenging. He does just that. Fastball 71, that one in on the hands. And got to give credit to number 32 for 6-4-3 as he kind of shakes his hands prior to stepping back into the box. I think that one might have stung just a bit. And nice slider for strike 3 looking. So a couple of strikeouts, but also a couple of walks. And still a close contest so far. 2-0, favor of 6-4-3. And it looks like 6-4-3 is going to do a courtesy runner over there at first. So got to give Tuck some credit there, going to a slider on a 3-2 count and being pretty confident in his ability to throw that one for a strike, although he misses with that same pitch right here to start. Fouls that one straight back. And now my camera view, struggling with the camera views right now, I'll tell you what. Oh boy, let's see what Tuck can do right here. Oh, that one glances off the shin guards, and a runner is going to get across. So Paul indicates to Tucker, hey, that's my bad, that's on me. And Tucker's showing some disappointment, but Paul being a great teammate right there and trying to pick Tuck up. Ball in play over to second base. And Kelly barely coming up with that one. He lays out for it. Nice job done out there. And I do apologize, folks. I know you didn't get to see that one, but he laid out for it and had a little bit of a struggle getting back up off the turf. Makes the throw just in time over to second. And MacNSeitz gets out of that inning with just one run. So they leave 3 stranded. 6-4-3 leaves 3 stranded. And definitely a doable number of runs right here. MacNSeitz can definitely put up a couple of runs in an inning. So we'll see how things go here. as 643 continues to change their pitching staff out inning by inning. And we see number 35 out there on the hill right now. So I'll take a quick moment here and let's go ahead and try to address this center field camera. And I'll be back with you here just momentarily. All right, folks, that is going to take us to top of the third. And starting out for MacNSeitz is number 3, Ryder Votaw. Will be followed by Jacob Larson. Ryder, right on that first pitch, puts it in play, and that gets easily by the shortstop. He stands up a little frustrated with it, but Ryder seeing the ball well, putting it in play today here early, and nice to have a leadoff runner on base. We'll see if Jacob Larson can do anything to advance Votaw's position out there first. Now we'll say Votaw, one of the better base runners we've got, plus speed. I'd like to see us challenge him. He does go right there, and on the hit and run right there, as Jacob rips one right down the third base side for a single. So 2 batters, now 2 runners. And hard-hitting Paul McCliney up to the plate. Wild pitch, runners try to advance. And they do an errant throw down at third, and a run will score. So Ryder, again, like I said earlier, a fantastic base runner, does a good piece of running right there. And heads up on a pass ball, makes his way over to third, an errant throw down, and now MacNSeitz on the board. Paul McCliney still with an opportunity for an RBI with the runner out there on second. Oh, man, screamer down the left side. But it does go foul. This one down in the dirt. 6'4" catcher doing a great job moving laterally to his right, keeping that right off the chest plate and protecting it from that runner advancing. Well inside. Now 3-1 count. McCliney looks down to coach, takes the sign. And ball number 4. So 2 runners. 1 at second, 1 at first. And that'll bring up number 35, Jacob Peterson. Jacob with a couple of RBIs coming into this tournament, or here early in the spring. As he patiently takes that one well outside. Catch doing a good job getting a glove on that one. As we start to feel a little bit of that breeze coming across us right now. Maybe welcome for some and maybe chilly for others, but starting to see some folks shedding those sweatshirts for some T-shirts. And a line drive right up the middle. We're going to see, and Coach holds him. So a nice hit by Logan Peterson right there, and that will load the bases for number 27, Tucker Lee. So Tucker looking to help himself out here. Had a couple of really hard hits on the ball and put a real nice one out there in right field, but got a little bit too under it. So we'll see what he does here with the bases loaded. Lee with a couple of RBIs coming in to this contest. And pitch showing a little bit of control issues here in the third inning. Big, tall kid. Working from the stretch. Throws a slider right there. That's some nice movement from left to right. And a rip right up the middle. This one will be good for an RBI single. That, folks, will tie the game up. So, nice job right there, Tucker. Now we will see if MacNSeitz can keep things rolling here with nobody down, top of the third. Bases loaded. That brings up number 5, Brooks Carr. And a wild, pass ball, but runner does not go. Brooks Carr coming up with a big clutch hit here in the last matchup to tie the game up late in the game. Unfortunately, Joko Storm coming back and scoring a run in that last half inning. And coming away with a win. Brooks Carr with a big swing and a miss right there. Kind of stepping out of the box as he swung. And a ball outside. I think I've got a good view over here on the lefties. And Brooks once again kind of pausing outside a little bit and then deciding to swing. Gets the bat on the ball, though. Fouls that one off the end of the bat. And you may hear some of that wind, again, starting to pick up. And doing the same thing again, moving that back foot. He's got to get that back foot planted and stationary. He's got to stay in the box if he's gonna be swinging away. If he can just get this ball in play, you got to think we've got a decent chance of taking a lead here. Puts this in play right over to first, and that will be an RBI. So Brooks doing a great job. And that'll put MacNSeitz in the lead 3-2. Now Grant Kelly up the plate. Grant swinging the bat really well on his last at-bat. Pops this one up. Catches calling for it. Oh, and he misses it. So Grant Kelly will have an opportunity that he may not have got otherwise to keep swinging away. Imagine that sun high in the sky right there. That's exactly right where that little pop-up was at. So a lot of backspin on it as well. Ball high, count now 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pass ball, Logan Peterson really thinking about coming down the line there. And that spurred Tucker to go down towards third, and both of them ended up running back. So runners again, second and third, just one down. Let's get some runs on the board. And that definitely was a breaking pitch that he did not just come right across over on. So that hung up a little bit high for ball number 2. You just kind of tell he didn't quite come all the way through and forward. And he does right there. Grant Kelly right on top of it, but fouls that one. Right off the inside of the leg. No, that one doesn't feel good. So regardless of how things transpire here tomorrow in bracket play, Grant will have a little trophy. The black and blue bruise, and swing and a miss for out number 2. That'll bring up Austin's strength, and I think this is part of why the coaches, moved Austin around in the lineup here. Coming up big, hitting really well here this spring, and he's got an opportunity for an RBI right here. So missing my color commentary, but maybe I can get Arlo over here to join me for an inning. Ball in play, a little dribbler right over to first, and that is going to do it for us here in top of the third. So MacNSeitz will leave 2 stranded, but not before they take the lead, now 3-2. Well, as the boys look to change positions out there on the field, I'll take a quick opportunity to talk about one of our silver sponsors this year for us. That's the folks out at Sally's Propane. They started as a family business back in 1981 and continue to be family-owned and operated. They have a long history of supporting local youth athletics and continue that today by supporting our MacNSeitz team. Sally's Propane serves over 4,000 customers in 4 counties. And so if you have a need for propane, do MacNSeitz a favor, give them a call. They'll get you guys taken care of. Thanks so much for your support. That is Sally's Propane. So imagine there'll be a pitching change here this inning. I don't know, but it appears there's not going to be. Yeah, that'll likely do it for Tucker out there on the hill for this tournament. So they may be looking to try to ride this one to a win. So interesting in the two different teams and their 2 different strategies as they approach tournament play. And 6-4-3, opting to change a pitcher every inning, get them a little work here in pool play, and then see who's kind of dialed in for bracket. Maybe saving some arms there as well. I will say that our MacNSeitz team not real deep on the pitching front, but I know that we've got a couple other guys that have not pitched yet that have been practicing, have been looking to prepare for a deeper run into one of these tournaments. We've enjoyed a number 1 seed in bracket play based off of some of our pool play experience, but haven't fared so well when it came to bracket play. But I know that Ryder Votov's been working on some of his pitching, Reed Eckert. We did see Brooks Carr today, so we hadn't seen him a whole lot yet this year. Of course, we still have Jacob Larson and Logan Peterson left, so I imagine we're definitely trying to save those guys for some bracket play. And warm-up's complete. And bottom of the third will commence. Big swing and a miss. It's a 68-mile-an-hour fastball coming in on the inside corner. And very interesting, right? Some of these 6'4" players being really patient at the plate. This young man a little more aggressive to start, and then Tucker hits him with a nasty slider, and now an 0-2 count. See what he comes back with here. That one misses outside low. So both teams looking pretty loose. Not a lot of energy that I see, but, you know, nobody really looking overly tight. I felt like MacNSeitz looked a little tight in our last matchup. And some nice vertical movement on that pitch, but definitely inside, and that'll be a 2-2 count. And Tucker missing high and inside, buzzing the tower on that one. Kind of motioning towards his hip flexor right there and trying to stretch it out a little bit. He says that's been bothering him here for about the past 2 weeks. He's been working on some daily stretches and trying to stretch that out, but as he hinges and comes down the hill, that's been bothering him quite a bit. Nice pitch there, challenges him inside, 70 miles an hour. But he's able to get the bat on that and foul it back. Earns an opportunity for another take. And strike 3. So good looking pitch right there, and that's number 3 on the day for Lee. So maybe not having his best stuff, but still holding Casey Gray here to just 2 runs so far. Let's see how the rest of this half inning goes. Lee and McCliney still not on the same page as Lee steps off and then now resets. Yep, that hip flexor definitely bothering him. And now he's been looking over to the dugout. So I don't know if we've got anybody warming up over there, but we'll see who they plan to bring in after Tuck, because I imagine he's done after this inning. Big swing and a miss. Now 1-1 count. Fly ball right side. This will be right to the fielder. And that will be out number 2. So wind beginning to gust, and I know all of our phones got hit up for an advisory on the wind. Hopefully we'll get through this matchup before it picks up too much more. First pitch is fouled off to the right. Tuck just not looking like he's moving well. He's not moving fast down the mound. And interesting. So peppers him with fastballs. 2 pitches, 2 fastballs, both of them fouling out to the right off the end of the bat. So coach calls for a timeout. He's doing a quick mound visit, and Tucker is acting like he's pretty uncomfortable. So when you're out there on the mound and on the hill, grimacing and flexing and trying to stretch, you know, that's always going to be cause for a little bit of concern. I know that it's not arm related, and so just for whatever reason, that hip flexor on his front lead leg really bothering him. Ball in play, this one over to Votaw, and that is going to be out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning, and the boys do a great job with some solid fielding. So good to see MacNSeitz getting back into some of their typical fashion. Votaw looking really good out at shortstop today. seeing the ball well, moving left and right, back and forward, and making good, clean throws over to first base. Failed to see who made that nice catch out there in right field, but boys doing a good job there and maintaining the lead 3-2, and now with an opportunity to possibly improve that margin. Give us maybe just a bit of breathing room. Well, folks, that leaves me with our fourth sponsor to talk about here in the tournament, and that is the team out at Reeve Roofing. These guys have been a sponsor for our boys out on the field today and all season long. You have to check these guys out. They'll treat you like family and guide you through the insurance claim process, the whole 9 yards. And if you've never been through an insurance claim process when you're getting a roof redone, man, it can be a beast. But these guys will help you out and walk you through the whole process. Check them out online. That's Reeve Roofing, ReeveCon.com, ReeveCon.com for the folks out at Reeve Roofing. Thank you guys for your support. All right. And a new inning and a new pitcher for the 6-4-3, Casey Gray. Oh, is the score 3-3? That's what's showing on Game Changer, huh? Well, good to know. All right, that's going to bring up number 8, Reed Eckert, to the plate. Reed looking to bunt yet here once again. So pops that one up and fouls it back. Squaring around it here early. Lays that one down. And that is going to be out number 1. So last 2 plate appearances, Eckert laying down a couple of bunts. And not really in a surprising fashion, turning and squaring around early. But this brings up a good hitting Ryder Votaw, who fouls that one out of play. So again, talking about this early, man, the guy's swinging early. And, if you're seeing the ball and it's in the zone, hard to argue with. As he takes curveball looking for strike number 2. Last couple pitches coming in mid-50s. Had good movement, good vertical movement on his curveball that he threw just a moment ago. Oh, and a strike 3 call in the outside corner. Catch drops it, but is able to make that throw down at first, and that'll be out number 2. So 6-4-3 making quick work of MacNSeitz right here, but MacNSeitz able to put some runs on the board with 2 outs here. So we'll see if Larson can't get something going for us. That ball with some good movement coming back in on the hands on Larson as he fouls that one back. Coach Brady giving him some encouragement there down at third base. And a 2-1 count now. And ball number 4. Larson will make his way down to first. So not a lot of opportunity to get anything swinging right there. We'll see if Paul McCliney is able to get anything good to swing at. So Paul McCliney taking another hit by pitch, and I tell you what, he's got one of those Evo Shield protectors on the elbow, and for whatever reason, it just seems like time and time again, people are throwing him inside, and I think he finally just got fed up with it. He just stood right there and in his spot, which he can command, and hit him right there on that lead left elbow, but right in the Evo Shield guard. So he makes his way down to first. Now they do a courtesy runner for him. That's 2 runners on. Peterson at the plate. And Peterson fouls this one. Oh, and it hits the top of the fence on the side there. I thought the third baseman was going to have an opportunity to make a play on that one, but Peterson lucks out. And we'll have another opportunity to get a swing going. Talking with Logan's mother here earlier before the first game. He's had some arm pain in our last tournament, but we were off this last weekend, so he's had a couple of weeks off and feels like he's going to be good to go and pitch for us again here at some point this tournament, although we've not seen him just yet. Big swing and a miss on a curveball right there, and Coach Brady giving him some instruction and Logan nodding. Takes that pitch down. So nobody challenging catch right now. Although Votaw with a really good lead out there at first, but obviously lead runner in front of him. Oh, pass ball and runners do advance. I didn't know if Larson was going, but coach called him down there. He said, "Come on, Jacob." And so fortunately got him down. So now 2 runners in good scoring position for Peterson. 2 down here, top of the 4th, tie game. High fly ball, right side. Right fielder calling for it. And he brings that in for out number 3. So MacNSeitz leaving a couple stranded right there. Not able to get anybody across the plate, and continues to be a close matchup. I'm going to make a couple of adjustments. Appreciate you guys joining us here today. If you're not able to make it out to the ballpark, it's been a beautiful day. Bright blue, clear sky with a breeze just enough to kind of keep it cool. folks. So made a couple of adjustments here, and whoa, I don't know what would happen there. So MacNSeitz making a change at pitcher here. Grant Kelly currently on the hill. Kind of came off of it a little bit goofy there with that first pitch, and was kind of rubbing his right knee. I know he had a knee injury here that he just came back from. This ball in play over too short, and Votaw makes a nice play on it for out number 1. So kind of a combination that we've seen before, where Tucker Lee starts off, throws 3 innings, and then followed by Grant Kelly. See if that's going to be a recipe for success for us here. Kelly doing a nice job. That's fastball coming in, 60 miles an hour, right down the pipe. Ooh, and another wild pitch. That one just kind of releasing out off the fingertips a little bit unusually, and certainly, you know, not where Kelly's intending for it to. So not sure if that was his circle change. Pop up right side. Logan Peterson tracking that one down, and he's able to make that play. And that's going to be out number 2. So talking with Grant's father at one of the practices prior to, I think, our first tournament, and Grant had been out for a number of weeks doing some physical therapy and trying to get back to good. Said that he was looking really good right there and at that particular practice and was feeling good, so glad to see him out here. And hits a nice strike there on the outside corner. Ball high. And what continues to be a close matchup here. Every at-bat, every pitch mattering. Now 2-2 count to number 3-6. Infield looking prepared. Down and ready. Swing and a miss, and that is 3 up, 3 down. And Grant Kelly doing a fantastic job with a nice curveball right there and strikeout number 2. Or actually strikeout number 1, rather. My apologies. So now let's see if we can't get a little bit going out here behind the plate. So MacNSeitz trying to get some rally energy going, trying to show some energy and getting together and everything. Right outside that dugout. And so 6-4-3 once again, new inning, new pitcher. And I got to tell you, I don't hate that strategy. I like the fact that you're getting a lot of different guys some work here in pool play, and then probably going to stick with some of your stronger guys, but making it really a good team effort. And that's what you're going to see, I think, at that AAA level pretty often, where everybody's getting a little bit of work, and then going down to bracket play, maybe not batting the entire team, and just batting the 9 or maybe 9 with a DH for your pitcher. I will say I think they've had some roster changes a little bit. I think there's a couple of guys notably that I'm not seeing out here that I think maybe I've seen in the past. And but doing a good job out there on the field, doing a good job behind the plate. 6-4-3, always game, and a well-coached team right there as well. Tucker swinging the bat well, but not ending up with a whole lot. Did have an RBI single on his last at-bat. Looking comfortable. Stretching a little bit. Looks like that lower back maybe stiffened up on him when he was pitching. We'll see if he can't get something going here. Swings away on that first pitch, fouls that one off the end of the bat. That pitch coming in 62 miles an hour. So a quick delivery down the hill. And Tucker fouls that one out of play. So 2 pitches and 2 swings. Now an 0-2 count. And that wind really starting to kick up. I'm going to have to bolt some things down here, folks. Pitch down, inside. I tell you what, that wind really is kind of starting to kick up. Ball in play right over to first, and that'll be out number 1. So it'll sound like that maybe hit a little bit off the end of the bat. And we'll see if Brooks Carr can't get something started for us now. Ball in play, this one right over to second. And that's out number 2. So 2 batters, 2 ground balls, and that's going to bring us to number 10, Grant Kelly. Swing and a miss right there. And a 1-1 count. Always interesting to see the types of deliveries. This one coming from the windup. That one inside. As Kelly kind of moves his hips back to kind of get out of the way. So he kind of has a little bit more of a short arm delivery. It makes me wonder if he's maybe a middle infielder. But doesn't drop that arm back and things like that, but gets good action on his scaps by getting his shoulders back. And moves quickly down the hill. And he battles back for what's now a full count. And ball number 4, Kelly earns a walk. That one missing just a bit low, and that's going to bring up number 3-6, Austin Strength. Talking with his mother here before the game, and they've been in the middle of a move here, I think, at the last tournament. And as anybody knows, has been through it, man. There's so much work to be done, and living out of boxes as you're trying to get everything unpacked and get situated. And I tell you what, that is one busy family right there. Austin and his older brother just busy doing all kinds of different sports. And oh, that one hits Strength. That'll be a hit by pitch. And man, I think that one might have hit him in the hand. He tried to move out of the way, and that ball just kept trailing to the inside. Well, once again, we have 2 runners on and 2 outs. And so MacNSeitz really need to get something going here, top of the 5th. Not having that home advantage has really kind of burned us, so we need to get some runs on the board here. Looks like we don't have great speed out on the base paths right now. So Kelly definitely not a speedster out there at second. Conservative lead. As Eckert takes that pitch for a ball outside. Another ball outside. Pitch continuing to sit right there in about that 61, 62, 63 range. Except for when he goes back to his off speed. And Reese squares around once again to bunt again. This time it will advance 2 runners. And once again, just inexplicable. I don't know what we're doing here. So I have no idea if the coaches are calling for that or if that's just something that Reed is elected to do on his own. I would wonder if they had said anything to him earlier about it when we had, opportunities to score and then he bunted. So very atypical to bunt with 2 outs, and so have done it twice now here in this game, and wow. Maybe looking for a throwing error, maybe looking for, I'm not sure, or maybe Reed's just not feeling, and Reed could potentially have an injury maybe I'm not aware of as well. That could be it. So maybe not feeling comfortable and able to swing the bat. So maybe that's why he's scoring around and bunting. I don't know what the situation is, but we'll try and link up with the boys here afterwards and find out what was going on. But that ends another half inning where thought maybe we had some late life. So that takes us to bottom of the 5th and a tie ball game. I would think that it would be somewhat rare to see a bunt with 2 outs, but to see it multiple times within the same game, kind of unsettling. But you know what? Boys doing a great job out there in the field, and Kelly doing a good job out there up on the bump. So let's see if we can't keep that going here for a 6-4-3 team that has been known to beat us late in the game in the past. Oh, nice pitch there. That'll even up that count at 1-1. Hell, that one messing up 2 of my 3 cameras. Unbelievable. This ball in play, it's a little dribbler up to short, and that's going to be a tough one to get. An errant throw, and I'll tell you what, Votaw was going to have a tough time getting that one. It was a little dribbler right off the end of the bat. And has to make an off-balance throw. Peterson not able to scoop that, but fortunately takes it off the body and it doesn't get away from him. So runner over on first. But that does represent the go-ahead run, and that's a leadoff runner, so nobody down. Or leadoff batter, rather, and nobody down. Nice pitch by Kelly right there. And Paul doing a good job popping up there after taking the pitch and looking at that back pick, trying to keep that runner honest. Ooh. And so home plate umpire just called a balk on Kelly, saying he didn't come set. And so that runner will advance. So we've seen that a couple of times today where the umpires have called balks, although none on MacNSeitz before now. And ball number 4, that'll put 2 runners on. So MacNSeitz in trouble here once again late. Bottom of the 5th, we're coming up close on game time. The next game, obviously both those teams, but we got started I think about 40 minutes late. So I imagine they're all geared up and ready to go, but they're going to be starting late as well because we still will get our regulation time. Two pitches, 2 balls, and I think Kelly was telling McCliney, hey, give me a new ball. That one's got a jinx on it. I'm not throwing any strikes with it. Let's get it out of here. And nice pitch for strike number 1. So 6-4-3 looking relaxed out there in the dugout, and conservative leads out there on the base. So nothing's real. Pop up right side. Center fielder brings that one in, and that is going to be good for out number 1. Ball in play over to third. Jacob Larson handles that, tags third, and then throws to first. But Logan Peterson does not handle that throw over well. And now the runner advances. So fielder's choice. Ends up with runners on the corners, but 2 down. And that go-ahead run on third base. And Kelly starts him off with a nice strike right there. So we'll see if that duo of Lee and Kelly, if that can hold up. I think the last time they tag teamed a game, we were able to come away with a win. And now a 1-1 count here. Still see that heat just kind of resonating, rising off of the turf out there, in particular in the outfield from my vantage point here. Runner goes, and he'll make his way up to second as Paul McCliney had to dig that one out of the dirt. Ah, good-looking curveball right there. Fouls that one off. And now a 2-2 count. My goodness, my cameras are all kinds of bad right now. That ball gets away from McCliney, but short backstop saves everybody here, and that's going to be a full count. – got to think about how MacNSeitz is going to feel with coming away with an out right here on this batter versus him getting a walk. We'll see if Kelly can come up with it right here. And he does not. That ball's inside, and that's going to be ball 4. Bases are now loaded. So 6-4-3 have left a number of runners stranded in the prior innings. We'll see if MacNSeitz can work some magic right here and get out of this inning with no damage and maintain a tie ball game. Huge lead out there over at first. Kind of ridiculous, yeah. And so Kelly does a good job stepping off and telling him, like, hey, come on, let's be reasonable about what we're doing. But once again, doing the same thing there. And first pitch results in a wild pitch outside. So in a situation like that, that's where, I feel like coaches need to holler at the guy out there on the mound, like step off the mound and just run straight at him. If you run straight at him, he's not necessarily moving back, and sometimes you can get them stranded out there for that out. But it's a little bit tricky work when you've got the go-ahead run out there on third. And so if you get down into a little rundown, but that runner comes across home plate before you're able to make that out, then that run will count. So it is tricky work there, and Kelly electing to focus on the batter right here. And right now he's up on a 1-2 count. Oh, and just missing on a curveball. I think that one may have come in just a little bit high as it came across the plate. Now 2-2 count. Hard hit ball. That one glances off the glove of Larson. Oh, and Larson's not able to get to it. That results in an RBI single and a go-ahead run. So 6-4-3 Gray coming up big right there where they needed it. And bases continue to be loaded, 2 down. Still just bottom of the 5th. And I tell you what, from Kelly's perspective, like he elicited that ground ball. It was definitely well and hard hit. Larson did a good job getting the glove on it, but then it bounced away towards the fence off of his glove. And, man, that could have possibly got us out of that inning. So fastball well outside. That one coming in right at 59 miles an hour. And a good pitch right there. That'll even up your count at 2-2. And so a big pitch coming up right here. That's a well hit ball. That's going to get to the outfield. One run comes across. And a 2 RBI single for 6-4-3. So no luck for our MacNSeitz boys right here, and now a 6-3 contest in favor of 6-4-3. And a little dribbler, this one over to Votah. And that'll be out number 3, but not before 6-4-3. Gray put 3 on the board. And you can look at the boys' body posture and energy coming in off the field, not looking great. And that's, that's where I feel like you really need to kind of pick it up. Get somebody put a boot in the butt there and get these boys going, because there's some more baseball left to play here. We're going to be on top of the 6th, and we need at least 3 runs to kind of keep this thing going. So we'll see what they do. 6-4-3 New inning, new pitcher. This guy, low 3/4 arm slot, so that'll be a different look. Let me see if I can make us a couple of quick camera adjustments here, folks. All right, so all set here for top of the 6th, and if there's going to be a rally to be had, starting off with Ryder Votaz, a good place for it. Batting in the 2-hole here for MacNSeitz here in spring. I think in most of fall of last year he was batting leadoff. Not entirely sure why for the change, but he's done a good job out here at the plate, taking the first 2 pitches here for a ball. Seeing the ball well, again, running the bases well as well. And a little chipper right over the right side, and that is how things will get started here for us in top of the 6th. Nice piece of hitting by Ryder Votaz. That's going to bring up hot hit in Jacob Larson. So Jacob, I'll tell you what, batting .500 coming into the game for us this season, and this is our 4th tournament. So he's got a couple of RBIs, a couple runs. We'll see if he can't keep things running here for us. This is going to be a double play style type ball. The attempt is made, and they get a double play out of that. I thought he was well safe at first, to be honest with you. Wow. You know, Larson having better speed than I think most people would expect, but, you know, give credit where credit's due. That was a ground ball right over to shortstop. I didn't feel like he cleanly fielded it, but he quickly made it over to second, and a good throw from the second baseman over to first, and 6-4-3 ends up with a double play. So taking out some of that early energy, getting your leadoff batter on base, but that brings up Paul McCliney, and if we're going to have a rally, it's going to have to be a 2-out rally. And Paul McCliney taking another hit by pitch. That one hitting him right in the meat, and I think that one it hurt a little bit more. So he slowly makes his way down to first. So he shakes that one off. That's going to bring up Logan Peterson. You know, that hit by pitch thing is kind of goofy. But they pick off Larson, or not Larson, but McCliney. And that's out number 3. And that's going to do it for us here today at the Mid-America Sports Complex. Wow, so 2 games, and I'll say that at least here in the second game we fielded the ball much better than we did in the first game. Obviously, both games coming down to that last half inning, and unfortunately not going in MacNSeitz' favor. So 0-2 here in pool play. And we will see you guys tomorrow in bracket play. I imagine we will be playing early, and we should have a fairly low seed and all that. But thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back here out of the diamonds cheering on these boys once again and hoping for some better outcomes and making a little bit of a run here in bracket play. So once again, that'll do it for us out here. Thank you guys for joining us. Please give us a like or shoot us a comment out there on our YouTube page.